Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. My name is Sarah. This is Ginger Cat who's joining me for the first video of the new year for a little bit anyway, till it settles down. I'm going. Oh, okay, that was it folks. So we're going to start the new year with a Finish It Friday video. So if you had projects that you intended to get finished over the holiday period and you didn't get them finished, you ran out of time, we are going to look at how you can find time for your stitching today. So do keep watching for that one. So just before we look at what I haven't done over the last year, I thought we'd have a little look at what I did do. It's always good to give yourself a little boost and to have a look at what you have achieved and what you have made and what you have completed. And it's really nice to see what how creative you were over the last year. So I thought we'll just have a little look over the channel and what we did on the channel very quickly. So we put 58 videos up in total. So that was 49 videos on the main channel, and then there were another 9 videos for our YouTube channel members and our patrons. Thank you very much guys for supporting us through those channels. I hope you're enjoying your extra content. They have also had some free designs as well and some pictures of behind the scenes and what's going on and what's coming up, as well as a chance to join in some videos. If you're interested in supporting us through one of those channels, you can find information on both of those in the description below this video. Just try it for a month, see if you like it, see if you like the extra content that we've made for you. So we had our first video to reach 1 million views, which was quite exciting. So that was our 10 embroidered flowers video. It's not been up that long, comparatively speaking, but that's hit over 1 million views. So you're all really enjoying that one. And the channel in total, in a year, last year in 2024, we got 4.3 million views in total. So that's absolutely fabulous. You're enjoying the videos. It keeps us going. It keeps us wanting to make them for you. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you're enjoying the content. So you were watching from 150 different countries. I love that statistic. See where you're watching in the world. And we will be doing our Stitching Around the World for World Embroidery Day video. Bit of a mouthful that. We'll be doing that again this year. We do it every year. So if you haven't seen them yet, do go and check them out because they're really fabulous. I turn the channel over to you and you show me what you're stitching and we share that, and we all see what wonderful things are being made all over the world. That will be in July. So we're not taking videos for that yet. We will put a call out video for that. So do look out for that probably a month before. I think it's time for Jonathan to collate the videos together, so do keep an eye out for that, and maybe that's a good opportunity to finish something that you can show us in that video. I just want to take this opportunity to tell you what we're doing with the shop, because we are going to streamline it a little bit. We have been doing this already, but we're going to continue to do it, and we are going to actually discontinue our gold work metal threads and metal wires. We will keep the coloured stock going for now, but it's the gold and silver and the copper content. We are going to discontinue it. We're having more and more trouble getting this from the supplier, and it being the quality that we really want for you. So we've decided that we're going to discontinue this. What we have in the shop is what we have left. We won't be restocking it. So if you want some gold and silver and copper metals and wires, do go and check that out, because that is the last stock that we will have of that. We have got some other things in the shop though. We've got some new threads in the shop which are really exciting. We've got some chenille threads. We've done those recently just at the end of the last year. Those are beautiful. We've got Eco Vita wool as well. Those are the natural dyed crewel wools. Those are really beautiful. We've got some DMC Etoile if you want some little sparkle to your embroidery stitches, and we've got the anchor linen threads as well. So we've got some wonderful different threads, and of course our lovely range of coloured linens as well for you to stitch on. So we'll still be selling those and our other equipment and our frames and everything as well. It's just the gold that we will be discontinuing. So I've already had people asking me about classes. Can I have a list of classes? I wish there was a list of classes. I would like to do another in-person class this year. We did a couple last year in the forest. We did some forest embroidery samplers. It was a lot of fun. And for those of you who joined me, I think you really enjoyed it as well. It was really really fantastic couple of days in the forest. I would like to do some classes again. It will be at the end, well, the second half of this year, the second 6 months of this year. There is nothing planned at the minute, but I would like to do some. So do keep an eye out on my social media. You can find me on Instagram and on Facebook. Just search Sarah Homfray Embroidery. Information will be on there, and it will also be on the classes page of the website if you want to pop along there and keep checking on that to see if their classes have been, well, I've decided what I'm going to do basically, and I put it on there as soon as I have, and all the information will be on there. So we will be doing our usual Friday videos this year. We'll get as many Fridays done as we possibly can. It's quite a lot of work. It's quite hard work to do, but we will try and do as many as we can. Last year we did the little stitch sampler, kind of a little stitch along. You could do it on a frame or you could do it handheld. Which way is it? That way up. It says sampler on it, and I've still got a bit of space on mine. I don't know if you have on yours, so I thought we'll do a few more stitches on this. There's some more stitches that we can do, so if you want to carry on with these samplers and learn some different embroidery stitches and just do it in a fun way that's not being precious about what you're making, you can join in that. We've got a playlist of 23 videos on this at the moment, so there's plenty there to get your teeth into. So we're going to carry on with the stitch sampler. If you want to carry on with me, or if you want to start that, you can jump in and start that for the new year. So we'll carry on with that, and then we'll be as well more Patreon and channel member content coming very soon. I've got a big pile of stuff here ready to show you. So this is embroidery that you haven't seen, and this has been made for a purpose at the time, but never made it into a video. So we're going to have a little look in a video on channel members and Patreon. I'm going to show you these pieces, I'm going to talk about them, what they are, and why I made them, and why they haven't made it into something. So if you're interested to see that, why not sign up to either the channel member or the Patreon page, and try it out and see if you are interested in the videos and the content we've got on there, and come and see what this is all about. Okay, so let's look at finishing things. So we've got this series of videos, as I mentioned, on how to finish projects off. If you've got a big pile of stuff that you're just not getting through, or it's lying around and it's not finished, these Finish It Friday sessions are designed to have a little look at how you can finish those things, what the sticking points, what are the problems, why things aren't getting finished. So go and check out the first two, because we've already covered some different subjects. We're going to look at making time and space today for doing your embroidery. So I've just pulled out a few things that I thought I would get finished over Christmas, or that remain unfinished from last year, if you like. So I've pulled a few things out. You might recognise this one. This was the beautiful trem piece that we looked at. There's a whole video on this and what it is. It's quite an unusual technique, so you can go and check that one out if you're interested in this. But it kind of left it, you can see it's not finished. So I was showing you what this technique was, and we had a little bit of a discussion in that video and in the comments underneath about what to do with it. Made a decision about what to do with it, so now I need to do that, but I'd like to show you that. So I do want to finish this video off. I'm not going to finish the whole piece, but I am going to do a little bit of it. So I'm going to show you how I'm going to tackle it, what I'm going to do with it, and how I'm actually going to physically stitch it, because it's not on a frame and it needs to go back on a frame. So that was one piece that's been hanging around from last year that I do want to get finished, and show you what I'm going to do with that. So that's definitely going to be a video coming up. The other project that we had a look at last year is my 18th century chenille and gold piece. I'll put a picture of it up here because it's a little bit fragile to keep getting it out. So we had a good look through that. We did a bit of detective work on it and what we thought it might be and how the techniques worked. And we've looked at the chenille technique in that and how to stitch the flowers in the chenille thread, but there's a lot of metal work on it as well, and I wanted to have a little look at that and see if I could recreate a little bit of that metal work. So I would like to do that one as well in a video, and that kind of, we've looked at the chenille and we've looked at the metal. Patreon member and channel members have had a design from that piece as well, and they've got a design they can work, which I am working throughout the year, and I will put pictures up of that as we go. So there is a design from that as well for our members. So that is one that I want to do, and that again will finish off that project nicely. The other thing that I thought I was going to get finished and didn't, and I'm disappointed I didn't, was a little present from my sister Caroline. If you watch the channel, you'll know Caroline from the Tambour videos. Caroline does our Tambour embroidery videos for us, and I made this little present for her birthday, for our birthday, because we're twins. We had a big birthday. I'm not going to tell you the number.
50.
That's Jonathan behind the camera. Thank you very much. I won't tell you how old he is. And I made this little roll-up sampler for her, and it's got little pictures of us when we were young throughout our 50 years together. Thank you. And it goes around a scroll. I've got the scroll somewhere under here. Goes around that little scroll, and it's just pictures of us together and all the shapes that we got up to, but it's not quite finished. I really thought I was going to get that finished over Christmas, and I did do a little bit too, but it's not quite done. So that's a personal one that I want to finish. That's not going to be a video, but that's a personal one that I want to finish so I can hand it back to Caroline and she can enjoy it. So those are the things that are sort of really outstanding from last year for me. So basically I didn't get these things done because I ran out of time. My intention was to do all of those things before the end of the year, and we always try and do more things than we can do, I think. So I'm going to just go through a couple of points that I think might help us to find some more stitching time. So the first one is to be realistic about how much time you have. I always think, oh, I can do this and I can do this and I can do this, and then it's Christmas as well and you're off visiting and doing things with friends and chilling out. So you never have enough time. So when I do get time, I find I'm often overwhelmed by the number of things I've got to do. Sit down, oh great, I've got a day, or I've got a few hours, what can I do? And then there's so much to do, I get a bit overwhelmed, I end up not doing anything. So I think it's better to do at least one thing than nothing at all. So my suggestion is just to pick something that you want to finish, perhaps the easiest thing to finish or the quickest thing to finish, the thing that doesn't take a lot of time to get back into, and put all the other things to one side. So remove them physically and mentally as well if you can, and don't spend that time worrying about, oh, but I should be doing that, and oh, if I did a bit of this and a bit of that and I get it done. Get one thing finished. You get a big boost from finishing a piece of embroidery or any project that you're working on. If you can finish it, then that will give you incentive to go and do the others. So try and ignore the others and try and just pick one and just do the one piece. Now this one won't apply to everybody, but I know I do it, and I know a lot of other people do it as well, and that is scrolling. If you're a habitual scroller on your phone, on your tablet, on your computer, you can waste away hours looking at Pinterest and Instagram and getting ideas, and it's a wonderful place for doing that. I do it myself, but you can go off down a rabbit hole, and before you know where you are, an hour is gone, and that could be an hour's stitching time where you could be finishing an actual project rather than getting ideas for a new project. So maybe if you do find you can relate to that, and you do spend a lot of time looking at ideas on the interweb, then perhaps limit the amount of time you spend on there. You can get the phone to do that in the settings part of the phone, and in mine it's under digital wellbeing and parental control. So that's actually on my phone, digital wellbeing. You can limit the amount of time you spend on a particular app if you find that your time runs away with you, and before you know where you are, a couple of hours have gone past. So you can actually limit that time, or you can just say to myself, I'm going to look for 20 minutes and then I'm going to do 20 minutes of stitching. Be amazed how much time you can pull back by just limiting doing that. So if that's something you find yourself doing, do just think about limiting your time. While you're talking about time, we could also set ourselves a time to do some stitching. If you want to spend a couple of hours stitching, it can be quite hard to find a few hours, and you think, oh, I need to do this chore, or I need to do that, or I need to go out and get this, or I need to ring so and so, and 2 hours is a hard amount of time to find. So why not start with a short amount of time? So pick half an hour, for example, 30 minutes. So I'm going to do 30 minutes of stitching, and then you can go and do the other things that you want to do, because 30 minutes is quite achievable really, whereas a couple of hours isn't. So if you start with 30 minutes, you can always extend that as you find that, but it should be possible to find 30 minutes if you organise your day carefully. When I first did these Finish It Friday videos, we had a little conversation where I put it out to the channel members and the patrons, and we had a discussion underneath the videos as well about what you find difficult, or some little tips that you have for getting your things finished. And the thing that came up a lot was chores, and people feeling guilty about chores stacking up and not doing them. And I do the same. You think, oh, I should be doing that, or that needs doing, and that gets precedence over stitching. So if you can find a way to do the two things together, so perhaps you could say, I'm going to do half an hour of chores, and then I'm going to do half an hour of stitching, and that half an hour of stitching is a little reward for doing that half an hour of chores. You've done some chores, you're not feeling guilty, you're just doing the same amount of time on your stitching, and then you can go back to your chores if you want, or you can carry on with your stitching. You can do some stitching while you're doing some chores. So if you put your washing in, your washing is washing away, you could do the stitching while the washing is on, and when the washing is finished you can finish the stitching and go and hang your washing out or iron or whatever you need to do with that. And it's also a good opportunity, and I think it was Martha, let me just check, it was. So hi Martha. So Martha said she does this and she puts her washing on, she does her stitching, and then when the washing's finished it forces her to get up and go and move a bit, because that is important. If you sit still too long you can hurt your eyes and your neck and your arms and your back and what have you. So it is important to have a break. So Martha uses the washing in the washing machine as her break. So she does the stitching, gets up, has that break, moves around a little bit, does some chores, and can go back to her stitching. So if you can kind of work out to put your chores in around your stitching and work the two together, you should have the best of both worlds. Ginger Cat join me. Hello, buddy. So let's talk about having a space to work in, because if you've got your half an hour to work, you found yourself a time and you spend a half an hour setting your embroidery up, then you haven't done any embroidery, you've wasted it. So if you can find a space to work in, if you can find a corner of a table, or you can sit on a chair that you always work at and have your stuff down the side of it, I'm sure a lot of people are familiar with that, then your stuff is ready, your embroidery is ready to pick up and go, and then your half an hour is well spent stitching and not well spent organising. If you struggle to find space, you could do this. Excuse me, buddy. There's no food on there. Look. No. So I've got a little tray. So this is just a tea tray. Hold it up there above his head. Just a little wooden tea tray. That's what it says on the tin. And this has got a project in it. Now this has got a sunflower project that I'm working off my other channel, so that's Sarah Homfray Creates. If you haven't seen that channel, pop over there and see what's on there. Some different kinds of videos on there. We're having a lot of fun making those. This is a project for that, which is hopefully coming soon if I can get the stitching done. No. No, that's not very nice, is it? And you can come over here with it. And you can keep everything on the tray. So if you're short of space, you can store that on top of a cupboard or wherever you need to, in a cupboard, wherever you want to store it. And you can grab the tray and you can sit down wherever you want to work, and everything you need is on the tray. I've got my scissors on there, I've got my needles, and I've got my threads on there. So if you're short of space, that's quite a good idea. Keep one project on one tray. Don't put loads of projects on the same tray, because then you get confused about which project to work. So if you want to just work one project at a time, so you get one finished. So that tray is a really good idea if you are short of space. But do just try and keep yourself organised and things ready to stitch. Don't put everything away again, because it kind of gets a bit forgotten when it goes in a cupboard. So try and keep one project out somewhere handy where you can see it's there and you can sit down ready to work on it. Going again. I just want to reiterate one thing from the first video as well that we did, because I do think it's really important, and that is not to aim for perfection. Aim for the best that you can do. So if you've got your half an hour to stitch, you're sitting down and then you do 25 minutes of stitching, go, oh, it's not good enough and it's not what I wanted it to be, I'm going to take it all out, then you've not done anything productive. So you've got to keep putting stitches in. You'll never learn taking them out, you'll only learn by putting them in. So aim for the best that you can do, not perfection, and then you'll find that you get there. So I like to end these videos with a little challenge for you. So my challenge for you this week is to find something from last year that you haven't finished. One thing that you thought you would get finished and you didn't get finished for whatever reason. Don't beat yourself up about why you didn't. So just pick one thing, and we're going to look at finishing that. So I'm going to pick my little sampler, that my little scroll that I'm making for Caroline, and I'm going to finish that. So try and pick something that's probably easy to finish, that's maybe quick to finish. Remember, forget about that other stuff, and we're going to finish that one thing, something from last year that you didn't get done. We're going to get that done and start the new year with it finished. You can let me know in the comments below this video what you have chosen to do. This is what I'm going to do, but what are you going to finish? And if you've got any tips as well about how to make some time or how to manage your time so that you can get some more embroidery in and not feel bad that you're not doing something else, do let me know those in the comments below as well. So if you want to go and check out those Stitching Around the World videos, you can see the playlist for that up here. If you want to stitch the stitch sampler, that video playlist is down here. You can join in with that anytime you like. And if you want to see the other Finish It Friday videos, those are down here as well. Check out those and see some other ways that you can get your projects finished for the year. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Give it a thumbs up. I'll see you soon.